Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Laurie Brown, and today I want to talk to you guys about how to heal from a narcissistic relationship. So the reason why I want to talk about this is because I feel like there's so many narcissistic survivors out there who struggle to move forward from their situation, because once you gain the knowledge of understanding what you have been through and how it actually all unraveled, you can kind of get caught up in feeling like you could have done better and you should have done better. But what I want to point out today is not only the things that we could have done better, but why we made those decisions in those moments. And I think sometimes when we can acknowledge the reason why we did certain things or accepted certain things, we can move on from it, because it wasn't always coming from a place of beauty. Sometimes it's coming from a place of pain. For example, if you're overly helpful with somebody to your own expense, it's not healthy. But the reason why you do it is because you're lacking something within your life, if that makes sense. So with me, I met somebody who I thought was an amazing person. And the reason why I thought they're an amazing person is because they gave me so much attention to the point where it was sickening. But because I felt like I was in deficit of the attention, it kind of felt overwhelming in a nice way. You know, it's almost like when you're starving and you get a really big ice cream and you consume that ice cream, and it's only when you finish consuming more than what you should have, that's when you start to feel sick. So in this instance, it's the same sort of thing where this person makes you consume them, and then as soon as you start to feel sick, the tables start to change and turn. The reason why I was in a deficit of attention was because prior to that I was in a relationship which I never healed from. This relationship that I had was over a year and a half before I met the partner that I ended up with. And I didn't take the time out to really heal. And I think sometimes people believe that, you know, time is a healer, which is true. But if you keep mentally making negative associations with yourself as to why something has failed, you don't get over it because you don't get the closure. I was so hell-bent on actually really loving this person to the point where I just couldn't let go. So I carried around this weight and this pain and this shame for such a long time. You might be thinking, why did the relationship end? Well, basically, he dumped me, he found someone else who he liked better. That's literally what it was. So anyways, moving forward, I met this person and I thought they were the greatest thing since sliced bread. Deep down, I didn't feel it, but I thought it, if that makes sense. Feeling like something is great for you, it almost gives you peace. But when you think someone's great for you, it's almost like me logically looking at a certain pattern and saying that it must be this because they are always calling me, they're always messaging me, they want to move in together, they said that they love me, they are always there for me. You start to package up this person to be the best fit because you don't want to be lonely. And that's how it all started. So I moved in with this person and I was the one paying rent and the bills. They were still at university, and I was doing everything for that person. And I wasn't getting anything back. And the love really wasn't there, but the companionship was there. And you get to a point where you start to see certain things unravel, like their behaviour starts to change and switch in different ways. But because you're with that person and you don't want to let go because they were the one who fed you when you were starving. So if this person exits my life, then what it means is that I'm going to be in a deficit again. So whatever it is, I need to learn how to continuously fix it and ignore things throughout my whole entire relationship, because this is it for me now. This is who I'm going to be with. And it's a very different narrative from the outside looking in, because it's almost like, oh, okay, so Laurie's settled down and she's found someone and she seems happy. She's posted on Instagram and everything seems lovely. And for somebody who needs that self-validation, sometimes comments can make you feel like you are living in that reality when deep down you know it's not your reality. So, to not go off topic too much, all I want to say is that it got to a certain point where the toxicity started to rise, so much so that it flipped a switch in my brain. Because when you're in a toxic relationship with somebody and their behavior starts to get increasingly worse, it feels like it's happened overnight, because you wake up in the moment when things get really bad. Because when they are going through the relationship with you, it starts off with small things that they may complain about or switch about or whatever it is, right? And they create a new threshold. If somebody is used to, let's just say, tapping a wall, not even punching, tapping a wall every time they get mad, every time they're like, damn, right? You get used to that. Even though in the moment you're thinking, that's a bit much for the fact that, you know, we've run out of milk, you know? And then that tap now becomes a new norm. So now the next time you run out of milk, it's a punch in the wall. Doesn't make a dent, but it's a punch. And so you are looking at the difference between the tap and the punch, and you're like, well, okay, that's just how he is, right? And then the punch becomes stronger. Now there's a little dent in the wall. But now you're comparing that from the punch to the upper level punch, and just thought maybe just hit it too hard today. And it escalates like that. And what happens is that you get used to all those thresholds, that nothing actually feels like they are overreacting. It almost feels like they're just being themselves. But when you become in harm's way, and you're repeatedly in harm's way, and you become the problem in that relationship, that's when you start to rethink your whole entire existence with this person. So when you get to a point where you understand that you picked this person for the wrong reasons, or you acknowledge that you picked them for wrong reasons, you start to think, why? Why? I already explained the deficit of attention that I was getting as one of the reasons. And obviously the ex-partner is one of the reasons. But another reason why was because I had extremely low self-esteem. When you're with a narcissist, low self-esteem is something that they're attracted to. And what you're attracted to is somebody with high self-esteem. Again, another deficit. If mine is low and yours is high, it balances. So I'm almost in awe of somebody not taking crap from anyone else. After the relationship broke down and ended, which was horrendous, by the way, you start to reflect back, because now you're left with nothing. And when I say left with nothing, I mean this person took away my finances, this person took away my self-worth, this person took away my identity, and that's how it feels. It feels like this is what they're taking away from you. So now you've left not only back to where you were, but even worse, because the manipulation and the conditioning that's happened throughout the years has been so intense, to the point where you almost create this new norm for yourself and your way of thinking. Because now I'm starting to feel incompetent with everything that I do, and making me question myself every second of the day. So now you're kind of like left with that mentality. It's almost like, you know when you have a fan on and you switch the fan off but the wheels keep on spinning still, you know, and then it slowly slows down. That's what it's like leaving a narcissistic relationship. You still feel like you're on, but when your cogs start to slow down, that's when you're able to be still with yourself and then think about how you want to rewire yourself to a place where it gets you to where you really want to be in life. It comes to forgiveness. For me, it was more about stepping out of the victimized mentality and stepping more into the new trajectory of my life and where I want to be, and also taking accountability for my own actions. Because the bitter truth about me being in that relationship was the fact that my mindset was as such, to the point where if I didn't meet this person, I would have attracted the same sort of person into my life because of the vibration and the energy and the way I was feeling about myself. I was going to attract that person into my life anyway. The good thing about that is the fact that it takes the power away from the individual and it almost puts the responsibility back onto you, because you need to make sure that you're good, you're well, you're fit, you're healthy mentally to be able to accommodate a beautiful relationship. Because if you're broken, you're going to attract brokenness. So when I see my relationship from that perspective, I have learned to forgive myself, because now I know that in order for me to get what I want in life, I need to live my life in a way that attracts that kind of energy. I can't remember who said this phrase, but they say you don't get what you want in life, you get who you are in life. And I think that statement has kind of shaped my way of thinking and just my way of life in general, because it's so powerful that it makes you think about your actions on a daily basis. If you want to know how I got out of the relationship and what that process was, then please like, comment and subscribe in this video, and I will see you in my next one. Take care, you guys.